So I've been asked, actually, on several equations, occasions, why one guy called me elderly. Yeah, I guess if I'm not elderly, I soon will be. But they go, you know, you're in your 70s, man. Why do you care about any of that? Why are you messing with that crap? And, well, for the same reason I'm interested in solar power and electric cars and geothermal, energy in my garden, for all the same kind of reasons, because I'm interested in it. This isn't hard. I also think it's all the future and it's all coming up. I know I won't be here for, you know, I'll probably be here for a while longer, but I mean, you know, a decade or so. But I'm already getting pretty. I shouldn't say that. I'm not tired of anything. I'm pretty much enjoying my life as it is now. So Linux, you know, I try to tell people my age, or older people, how Nito Kino Linux is. It's not hard. I mean, nowadays there's distros where, because I get this comment about, well, I don't want to mess with anything. I have to use that keyboard and terminal that nonsense. I don't. Well, you don't have to. You can. There's distros like Mint or, my wife doesn't. She won't even if there's anything to do like upgrade or download or something like that. It's my job. I got to do that. She won't touch that keyboard or she won't touch that terminal. And she's starting to use it though quite a bit because, she only uses it to go online and she writes some book reviews because she has a deal with somebody to. She writes book reviews. She reviews a couple of books and she gets a book for free, and she's an avid reader. But anyway, this video is about why older people should not be afraid of Linux. They should actually embrace it. Number one, it's far more cost effective than Windows or Mac or any of that stuff. I know that a lot of people are just invested in all that. But when it comes to, the end, when they're trying to sell you newer computers and blah, 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 that's what they were doing to me on my Windows computer because I have Windows 7 on it, which I still think is the best thing that Windows ever did. No, I take that back. I think XP is actually the best thing Windows ever did. It's just simple and powerful and straightforward. But so anyway, there's no real excuse anymore for people to go, well, I don't want, I'm afraid of Linux or I don't understand it. Well, it's just exactly the same. There is very little that you have to learn if you get into a Linux distro. And like I was talking about before, you can take an older laptop, a 10-year-old laptop, even older. I don't know, going back into DDR2 machines might be a little bit iffy, but not really. Linux will work. But certainly on the DDR3 machines, on the Gen 3 machines, no problem. Linux all day long, zippity doo dah. And of course, the newer machines, it works beautifully. I'm really loving this enchantment computer, which is really MX Linux. And I don't have to use the keyboard on this at all if I don't want to. I've just learned the terminal because I had back 10 years ago or more when I started fooling around in Linux. It was a chore for me to learn everything in the terminal, and Linux was far more terminal oriented. And I think there's still some distros that are that way, which is good. That's a good thing. But so that everybody can take advantage of the beauty of Linux, a lot of people in the Linux community have been working on the GUIs, the graphical user interfaces, which is just another fancy word for saying you use the mouse and the keyboard, and you press on icon and go to another picture. In that picture, you can press on something and go to someplace else, and it's like Windows. And every distro now is just about as easier than Windows, because Windows has so much bullshit. Well, let me just see if you can understand the concept of this now. You don't get hacked that much. You don't have to spend money on all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people that are trying to sell, software that's, what do they call that? When your computer gets infected by a virus. Yeah. That's why it's been so long since I've had to fool with anything like that I even forgot how to say virus. And that's the truth. I have no virus things on any of these machines. No virus software. Nothing like that. And I've noticed when I go, because I download all my stuff in the terminal because I like to read it. And if I do it on the the GUI, or the GUI as they say, you don't really get to read it. What's going on. And it just starts going, you watch the little dial go across, or the bar, or whatever, or you got to sit there while something spins. But I like the terminal because I can read what's going on, what's coming down the pike. And so anyway, it's just, I can see in the upgrades and the updates that there's actual things that they're loading into my system that are protecting it from the outside world. So it's not a, you don't really need one of those. You don't need that. Maybe if you have very, for some reason you think you have national security or something in your system, but you can get away easily enough with just a VPN or something like that, So anyway, enough. That's what that's just nonsense talk. What I'm talking about there. So anyway, older folks just don't need to be afraid of this, and it's so much more fun than Windows and Mac and all that stuff. You know, if something goes wrong, you can just go onto your phone and ask it how to fix it. 90% of the time, it'll tell you. Of course, you might have to go into the terminal. But for me, going and learning the language of Bash, which is what is a derivative going all the way back to Unix, which is before Windows and Mac, and Windows and Mac are based on Unix as well as Linux. You know, that was the original language. DOS just is what Windows, the language Windows speaks. Everything else is a derivative of Bash. That's the name they give the language that all these computers speak. Now there's other languages and derivatives. I mean, there's Python and then there's sub branches of everything. There's this thing called C++ and C++ and blah blah blah. They do things like I know C++ is a good language for somebody who's trying to write script or code to build a piece of software, or actually video editing software or music editing software. C++ seems to be. And then within that division, that's broken down into other smaller versions of things that have like one word that'll mean a whole sentence, that'll make things easier. Now, I don't know what AI is going to do. AI is going to be like, you know, you go into an AI program and go, give me all the code I need to write a program to have a 4-track studio, or for that matter, just build me the whole damn system. You know. So anyway, that's what's going to happen. And AI is going to definitely transform the internet, because, you know, the search engine Google thing is just kind of silly when you can go to an AI, you know, and go, just give me the prices of, you know, this particular item, or where can I buy this particular item, and AI will know within seconds the specific thing you're looking for and where to go do it. Where if you go to Google and you type in, you know, you got to go through all this, which that's not bad either. I mean, you know, you learn by reading a lot of that stuff, but it's still pretty cumbersome. Anyway, I've talked about Linux, you know, a lot, but this picture right here of this Mastodon is kind of what I wanted to talk about really tonight, because everybody's, you know, I hear all these people talking about Elon Musk and X and got Facebook, and I hate Facebook. I mean, Facebook has, I literally have 2 Facebook accounts, one of which I didn't even start. Meta just started it for me and resurrected an account that I had thought that I had gotten rid of years ago and brought that up. So now I'm actually friends with myself on Facebook, and try as I may, I just can't get rid of it. Well, I mean, that's a little disingenuous, because I don't try that much. I have noticed how much better this machine is working with my new video card in here. That was the last video I did. Although it makes my CPU run a little bit hotter because it's making it work harder. It's making these images and stuff so much clearer and brighter, crisper. And I'm sure that's why the CPU is running hotter. But it's not out of control hot. I mean, it's probably running about 60 something. I can look at it and see right now. 62 degrees centigrade. That's no big thing. This CPU is rated to go up to 95 degrees. So before it's really going to harm it. But they say don't let your CPU get up over about 70 degrees. Now here in Linux, all that stuff is clear. I mean, I have it built in on this particular distro. They have what the megahertz of my CPU is doing. It's running right now to about 41 megahertz. And then right next to that is the temperature of my CPU at 62. And of course, I've got all my all my programs and stuff all kind of organized. And the last time I showed you, the NVIDIA card and all that. So, but anyway, let's go to Mastodon, because Mastodon is kind of foolproof, is future-proof. That's the word I want to use. Because all of these things like TikTok, they're talking about getting rid of, and TikTok's dangerous for the extremely wealthy of the world because so many people exchange ideas. I mean, I think TikTok's a beautiful thing, but I don't have a lot of faith in it hanging in there. Maybe there's some way to underground it or something. I don't know. X, they kicked me off of X after it went from Twitter to X. I don't know. I have a Discord account. Discord is a little too complicated for me, although that's because I haven't spent a lot of time there. I also have a Twitch account, which the same goes for the way I feel about Discord. I don't know how much time I want to spend there. I don't know how much time I want to learn. I go to Discord from time to time so I can take part in Blue Dot in Texas meetings that they have, I believe, on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Sundays. Anyway, and then there's Facebook. What a piece of crap. But let's go look at Mastodon. I want to put this on pause and get right back to you. All right. So I should be down here, I guess. And this is my homepage. So it takes me to first MX Linux. Now I have not changed this machine over to DuckDuckGo, and I probably won't. But I don't have to go that far. I don't have to even go to a search engine. Right here on this Linux page, there's Mastodon. I can go to Facebook, I can go to Twitter. They don't have an X there. And that's YouTube. And then that's Reddit. So that was already just there. Those links were already built into my MX Linux. This is the blog page. And so let's go to Mastodon. All right. So this is just the Mastodon page for MX Linux. There's not a heck of a lot on it. I follow it, so I'm not going to unfollow it, of course. But there's lots of stuff here you can read. about MX Linux. If you need to, I have no idea what any of that means, but it's the same kind of thing. Let's see what they got going down here. Okay. Well, in any case, here's me up here, and if I want to post something, which I've never posted to this account, I write it all up here, and this will expand as you write, and boom, post it. I put videos on here. I put pictures on here. It's got a lot of the same kind of things. You want to do it public or private. You want to do it. I keep everything public. I'm not trying to hide anything. So this is my home, and this is a green instance of Mastodon that's connected to the Fediverse, the federated universe. So now in the federated universe, all these other entities everybody's hearing about, what's the thing that Meta just put out? Well, Mastodon or the Fediverse just allowed them to come and interact. But so far, Facebook hasn't been allowed, and nobody allows X. So what you can do here is, there's a guy that kind of runs this domain of green is what it is. And so this is my home spot. So everything that comes on here are things that I've sought out. You type your search in here. You can use a hashtag is the main way. And then if you like what you see, then you hit it and you tell it that's what you want. Now I have a lot of Linux stuff on here. Mike Watts, I don't have any idea what this is all about. Oh, AI helped in screening of prostate cancer. Look at all the stuff you can learn right away. Somebody liked that post, so it got again. But you can see what it is. It's like Facebook or anything else. You just go down the line. If that's what you want. Now, if you want to go to one of these places, like this is a Linux. This is in the activity pub. Well, I can just go up here and click Linux, and now I'm in the Linux activity pub, and I can go down and read articles and new happenings, and now I'll go back to my home. So as part of my experience here, these are called notifications. This is kind of like where all your people that are interested in you and your site and or what you're saying can post in my notifications. So here's PeerTube. I've been looking at that. This is this is just me talking crap. Now this guy friended me. He posts some stuff I'm interested in, and then and there's some other people, a couple of other people that have reposted my stuff. And, like up in here, it's so I have 3 followers on Mastodon. Of course, Mastodon to me really isn't about following and unfollowing, although I'm sure I could pursue that more if I wanted to. So this is notifications. This is where everything ends up. Like, I put my whatever I want in here. I can go over here to this and click my this is my instance that I'm here. So all of my um, all my videos are here, and some of the other things I'm interested in. Mastodon for Harris. I thought she was cute. So anyway, I have pretty much all my latest videos, and here are people that have looked at them, put them back, and here's Eric again. This is the another guy, and he has put this on there with a comment. You know, Project 2025 architect threatens violence to America. Blah blah blah. Okay. So then you can go to explore. This guy doesn't like Trump, obviously. He loves. Is that supposed to be? Oh, that's right. The Dems are calling all these guys weird. So here's Weird Al Yankovic. I just can't compete. Okay, I get it. That's actually kind of funny. So, and of course, there's a lot of international stuff here, but everybody is, you know, into American politics, even though there's lots of Germans and, you know, Louisiana law, police just grabbed him and took him off to jail because I guess they don't have any rights to protest anymore in Louisiana. That's too bad. Meanwhile, in Canada, you know. Anyway, it's all just interesting stuff. Now, new live feeds. These are things that just came off. People just do right now. You know, is there Grammys going on? I just did not know. These are. Oh, it's a flute concerto these guys are putting on. All right. Now playing at Free FM Lemon Tree by Fool's Garden. This probably is British or Irish or something. And I just wanted to find something that was really foreign language so I could. Here we go. This is, looks like this is some kind of Middle Eastern. Shakara, I don't know. I'm trying to find something that has a translate button. This is all Middle Eastern. Let's see. Okay, so here's a Chinese or Japanese guy right here, and he's got a translate button. Let's see what he's talking about. 34 is getting NH construction on. Have no idea what he's talking about. Here's another one down here. He called himself Nay when he was in Nanago, okay? And I am the N36 Yakko colored train called Lemon. Who knows what the hell they're talking about. But isn't that cool? Isn't that interesting? Then you can park your favorite things down here. If you like something and you don't want to, you can put it in your bookmarks. And these are all private. Like if you could strike up a conversation with somebody on the side, or let's say, and you just want to keep it private. You don't want it floating around the Fediverse. Well, that's where you put it. And then, preferences are preferences. So, that's your basics for Mastodon. I go back to my home. All right. I have a lot of AI artists and things that are on here. So, because I'm kind of interested in all that. You can visit our website, Denoised Art, my models. So that's it. And not that big of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here and go on back to. Let me just go ahead and pause it so we don't have to look at all that stuff. And here I am again. So I hope that little trip to Mastodon. I think everybody should at least get themselves an interest, an instance of Mastodon and get it started, because it's just now getting going. It's only got about 8 or 10 million people that are, have instances. There's been, I think, about 1 billion views and stuff that's happened. So it's not anywhere near up to what Twitter was and Facebook and all that. But like Linux, it's growing. And the other thing about this, besides the fact that it's complete freedom, the guys that run the instances, I don't say complete freedom, they are the arbiters of what you can and cannot, what they allow. And I have seen, there was some Trump guy who got on here with, missing his teeth and cussing, and I forget what he was talking about. Joe Biden's pedophile, or just saying ridiculous things. And the guy who ran this instance got wind of it and kicked him out. Said, "Sorry, buddy. We're not doing any hate speech here. We don't mind if there's dissent, and we don't mind if you're having a conversation and you guys don't agree. But you can't just come here and spew obnoxious filth about somebody that's not true." I think the same thing should apply to the Twitter, X, and all that crap. But that's why I like Mastodon. I mean, even though I use those other platforms from time to time, I use YouTube a lot, and I do Twitter every day. But in the evenings, I come to Mastodon and just hang out and read when I'm in the, when I'm in the mood to read something interesting. And I can just go hashtag AI, or if I hear something, like that's happened. The other thing about Mastodon is I have a really clear picture of what's going on in Ukraine. I keep that on my phone through an app called Tusk, I don't know. And I did, I hashtagged all the Ukraine, so I get the AP, I get the Kiev News, I get a lot of first-hand accounts. I get to see, they're not big on showing you actual battling, but I get to see the aftermaths of bombings and stuff like that. Not that I'm interested in watching people suffer, but I do want to know to what extent. Could do the same thing about the Zionist invasion of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank and the killing of all those innocent people. You could hashtag that on Mastodon and have yourself a whole little place where you just go and look at that stuff. I haven't brought myself around to that. It's pretty sad. But anyway, that's a 75-year-old guy like me. I have an alternative to all that crap that everybody complains about. and I have no complaints about Mastodon. And I have computer systems that make me feel comfortable, that I look forward to going and turning on and manipulating and going on the internet, playing games, doing videos like this, playing my music through Arter. You know, I enjoy all this, and it's because of using Linux and having Mastodon or the Fediverse in my life that has made me feel so much better about all this stuff, about all this technology. Made me feel way less afraid of AI. You know, when it first came out, ooh, the boogeyman. AI is not a boogeyman. AI is going to be like the new Encyclopedia Britannica, you know, for this generation. It's going to be the new search machines, like what Google did and DuckDuckGo and all those search machines. Only it's going to do all that way, way, way better. Way, way, way better. You can ask AI chat bots like Chat GPT just about anything, and they'll give you a straight answer, pretty much. And if somebody thinks there's some kind of entity or something behind that, that's just like fool. You're watching too much sci-fi. There's nothing. I believe sometimes that the information that they spit out is a little lopsided, but I think that's just because they're milking certain algorithms or whatever, you know, that's producing that. But anyway, I'm not worried about any of that. Well, that's enough. Don't be afraid of Linux. Look for alternatives to the standard crap that's happening, you know, in the tech world. Don't buy a Tesla. They're pieces of crap. There's so many other alternatives to that. And I don't even want to talk about the Harley thing. That's one of the most silliest, stupid things I've ever seen or heard of in my life. What next? You know, thank God I'm woke, so I don't have to worry about whether I'm going to become catch woke. I already caught it. I've had woke 3 or 4 times since the pandemic. That's how silly it is. Adios, my friends. Buenos noches, mi amigos y mi amigas.